everybody, and thank you for joining me as I continue my team-by-team review of the 2022 World Cup. And in today's episode we are looking at Spain, of course, who are talented and technically gifted. They last lifted the trophy in 2010. You can catch my other team previews and analysis on the channel, and if you're feeling ever so kind as to drop a cheeky like and subscribe, it would make you a World Cup legend. So without further ado, let's have a little look into Spain. Now, Spain is a wonderful country and culture and always brings something special to the World Cup. So a couple of key things that Spain is famous for I wanted to point out if you didn't already know. Whether you live in a city or a village, evening time in Spain is reserved for catching up with friends over drinks. Accompanying drinks, they have something called tapas. Now, tapas is finger food served in every Spanish bar. There are various tapases that are served and can be hot and cold, but can be things such as potatoes, calamari, chorizo, cheese and olives. This culture of tapas is exclusive to Spain and Latin America, but is now being picked up in other regions of the world. In fact, the UK does a lot of tapas food now. I love it. Now, another inherent part of Spain is its art, in all forms, but especially in dance. Now, everyone will know the world-famous Spanish dance of flamenco, which is such a dance of life. Flamenco is no easy task if you've ever watched it, and it's something very cultural to Spain and Latin America. And following on with art is the famous Gaudi. Antoni Gaudi was a Catalan architect who has in essence designed a lot of buildings in Barcelona in particular. He is famous for the incorporation of colours and quirks in his art. Their national football team has certainly been one of artistic technical capability in the past. Can they bring this back again, this time in Qatar? And back to the football, and Spain of course won their first World Cup back in 2010 as the golden generation of Spanish football sandwiched two European Championship successes with World Cup victory. However, since then it's all been rather disappointing for the Spanish team. A group stage exit in 2014 was then followed by more disappointment in 2018, with the exit in the last 16 at the hand of the hosts Russia. In reality, apart from the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, Spain have failed to produce at the biggest international tournament. Outside of a fourth-place finish in 1950, their best performance apart from the victory have been quarter-finals at best. How will they perform this time around? They are led by Luis Enrique, who of course has 62 international caps as a player, as well as appearing in 3 World Cups himself. With a long playing history, in a rare case of over 200 appearances for both Real Madrid and Barcelona. Breaking into management, he began with the Barcelona B team, before moving to Serie A for a single Italian season with Roma. His next job saw him return to Spain with Celta Vigo for a season before his dream job came knocking. He joined Barcelona as manager in May 2014, and in his 3 seasons with the club he delivered 2 La Liga titles, as well as the UEFA Champions League in 2014-2015, to secure the treble of the La Liga, Champions League and Copa del Rey titles in a single season. After a brief hiatus in charge of the Spanish team, he led the team to a Euro 2020 semi-final, despite large criticism for not including any Real Madrid players in that squad. This time around, can Spain reach the latter stages? Now, in qualification, Spain, as expected, had a relatively straightforward passage through to Qatar to qualify for the finals. Closest challengers were Sweden and Greece, with Sweden provided the closest challenge. They also saw off the other teams in the group, Georgia and Kosovo. The Spanish scored 15 in their 8 games and conceded just 5, with their goals fairly spread around the squad, apart from their standout Ferran Torres. He scored 4 in the qualifying campaign, all against different teams on Spain's way to top the group. With 6 wins in their 8 games, Spain brought home the 3 points in 75% of all of their qualifying games. The 2 matches they failed to pick up the victory was the opener at home to Greece, where they shared the spoils with a 1-1 draw, and against the eventual second-place team Sweden, where they were beaten 2-1 in Stockholm. Spain's biggest victory in qualifying came at home to Georgia with a 4-0 victory. Subsequently, following the World Cup qualifying, Spain went on to top a Nations League group which contained Portugal, Switzerland and the Czech Republic, putting themselves through to the finals in the summer of 2023. The Spanish beat each of their opponents once, and with draws also against Portugal and the Czech Republic, they only lost to Switzerland in the group section. If they can follow suit with a group-topping performance in Qatar, it will put them in good stead for the entire tournament. Now, Luis Enrique has been focused on playing a 4-3-3 style formation, which suits the Spanish style. Looking at their potential first 11, it will be Unai Simon of Athletic Bilbao in between the posts, with Premier League goalkeepers Robert Sanchez and David Raya as backup. In the defensive back four, the experienced Cesar Azpilicueta at right back will likely be next to Eric Garcia of Barcelona and Aymeric Laporte of Manchester City, while left back is the ever-present Jordi Alba, who now has 86 caps and 9 goals for the national side. Midfield will see captain Sergio Busquets and his 139 caps control the base of midfield, which it seems like he has done forever. Options to work alongside him could be any one of Carlos Soler, the exceptionally talented Pedri, then there's Koke, Rodri, Marcos Llorente and another talented Barcelona youngster in Gavi. On the right side of their attack, I'm going to go with their top scorer from qualifying, Ferran Torres, to start, with perhaps Pablo Sarabia of Paris Saint-Germain on the left-hand side. With 27 international goals, Alvaro Morata will likely spearhead the forward line, with Dani Olmo, Marcos Alonso and Ansu Fati all buzzing around to try and get in the starting lineup. Some very talented individuals indeed. Players to watch now, and despite Spain's defeat to Italy in the semi-final of the 2020 European Championships, Pedri was superb and highlighted to those who weren't already aware what a talent he is. He has a huge future ahead of him. As for the present, he's already generating plenty of excitement. He's one of the biggest talents in world football, combining exquisite technique with the intelligence to sniff out, occupy and make the most of any space available to him. He's brimming with confidence in the Barcelona team, and Xavi, as Barcelona manager, has great confidence. What I'm sharing with you here is his player profile from the Football Manager game. His attributes are shown here, and the ones in bold are those that are key to the position in which he plays. Now, Pedri is the figurehead of a new breed that also features the impressive Gavi, another 18-year-old La Masia product, to have gained the trust of Luis Enrique. Pedri will likely be the one pushing for a starting place. Actually born in France, Laporte took out Spanish nationality in May 2021 and was immediately called up by Luis Enrique to solve their problems at the back. With Sergio Ramos out of the picture, Gerard Piqué out of form and now retired, Laporte became irreplaceable, starting and finishing every one of Spain's games at Euro 2020. Having moved to Spain at the age of 16 and spent the next few years learning his trade at Athletic Club, he joined Pep Guardiola's Manchester City in January 2018 and became a permanent fixture in the centre of the City defence. The left-footed centre-back is a first choice in a rearguard where Pau Torres, Eric Garcia and Inigo Martinez are still vying to become his regular centre defensive partner, where Cesar Azpilicueta, Marcos Llorente, Jordi Alba, Dani Carvajal, Guy or even Marcos Alonso have all auditioned for the left-back slot without entirely convincing Enrique. After Simon, Laporte is the next cog in the Spanish creative machine, a player who specialises in bringing the ball out of defence. He even said himself how much he loves being on the ball and playing, something that will be key to watch with Spain this winter. An injury picked up on Nations League duty saw Ferran Torres ruled out of the decisive World Cup qualifiers against Greece and Sweden last November, having already made a significant contribution to the campaign. Now, Spain's leading scorer of the Luis Enrique era and the side's top marksman in the Qatar qualification period, with 4 goals, Torres is very much a key part of the attack. He's a versatile performer who can occupy a number of positions. He has no problem switching roles during the course of a game. He's yet to hit really his best form at Barcelona since his move from Manchester City, but his ability to create space and find the back of the net are crucial for Spain. Torres is at his best wide on the right thanks to his knack of slipping past defenders, getting to the byline, cutting in and finding an on-rushing player. Now looking ahead to Spain's matches at the World Cup, and first up is Costa Rica, who qualified through just about in the North American qualification section. Spain will be wary of taking their opposition lightly, considering difficulties they've had in qualification before. Now, one of the biggest mouth-watering clashes in all the groups is Spain against Germany on the 27th of November. Both teams will be expecting to qualify through against Japan and Costa Rica, and on paper this should be a battle for first place. But Spain finished their Group E campaign against Japan, who again qualified strongly out of the Oceanic Asian section, and have qualified for the round of 16 on 3 occasions before. If Game 2 does not go Spain's way, they could be under a lot of pressure, and the Japanese do have a number of top players that play in Europe, and they pose a dangerous threat if given the capability. This Spain team, however, will feel confident about qualifying, I'm sure. Now it's time for me to take a punt and take a prediction who qualifies. It's just a bit of fun, so don't shoot me when I say what I think here. I'm posing that there could be a shocking Group E. I know there's going to be one somewhere, so I'm trying to plant it here. If you've watched my Japan preview, then this will not come as a shock. I'm backing them as a surprise in Group E. No doubt Spain has a talented squad. If they turn up, they certainly should be doing the business. But I look at that second game with Germany and think that a loss there could be really damaging. But knowing my predictions, Spain will likely now go on and win the whole thing. And with that, I thank you for taking the time to watch this episode of the World Cup preview. If you're interested in seeing the other teams in Group E and beyond, do check out the channel. But for now, take care and I hope to catch you soon.